Dawn breaks over the vast, mist-covered peaks of the Atlantic forest. Within this lush canopy, monkeys and colorful birds awaken to a new day. They are the pulse of an ancient, sprawling tropical wilderness. This endless sea of green stretches across the diverse Brazilian landscape. Hidden valleys lie between these rugged, fog-drenched mountain ranges. Toucans perch high in the branches, surveying the waking world. Meanwhile, a tiny hummingbird rests briefly in the cool morning air. This vital ecosystem forms a crucial part of the South American continent. It clings tightly to the winding coastlines of São Paulo state. Protected reserves now shield these fragmented habitats from further destruction. These coastal parks remain vital strongholds for countless endangered species. They trace the dramatic landscape where dense jungle meets the ocean. Down at the quiet bay, gentle waters reflect the clear sky. A soft purple light bathes the distant, overlapping mountain ridges. Pristine sandy beaches curve gently along the edge of the wild rainforest. Heavy fog constantly rolls over these high, forest-covered peaks. This moisture feeds the entire coastal system running down into the valleys. Even the sprawling grassy marshlands rely on this steady flow of water. Thick mangroves grow right up against the calm sandy shorelines. Gentle waves continuously shape this secluded, magnificent tropical coastline. As evening approaches, small fishing boats float quietly in the bay. Local fishermen prepare to end their peaceful day on the water. A stunning pink sunset soon washes over the entire quiet anchorage. The peace is broken, and black vultures discover a dead stingray. They aggressively tear into the rotting carcass to survive the night. By stripping away the flesh, these scavengers keep the beaches perfectly clean. Further inland, powerful rapids crash forcefully over slippery moss-covered rocks. These clear streams then calmly flow through the dark, silent forest. Rushing white water carves deeper paths into the solid rocky riverbed, plunging into dark pools. The falls create beautiful morning rainbows. Smaller streams cascade gracefully down the naturally worn stone steps. The rushing water finally gathers in a serene, rock-filled basin. Another hidden waterfall pours steadily into a quiet jungle pool. Here, a rare snake-necked turtle slowly navigates the muddy banks. Nearby, a small torrent frog sits perfectly still on a wet stone. Its mottled skin provides excellent camouflage against the damp green moss. Soon, a male begins to call loudly to attract a mate. He inflates his large vocal sacs to broadcast his shrill song. He also waves a leg height to visually warn off rival males. High above, the endless misty canopy hides countless other strange creatures. A tiny tree frog rests silently upon a broad green leaf. As night falls, another frog croaks loudly into the humid darkness. An alert smith frog emerges from the thick, wet grass to breed. The dedicated male carefully builds a muddy, crater-like nesting pool. He calls vigorously from inside his newly constructed, safe mud fortress. A receptive female arrives, and they embrace tightly to start mating. Thousands of tiny tadpoles soon hatch and swim inside the nest. Elsewhere, a small green frog hides safely inside a curled plant leaf. A persistent biologist carefully scans the dark stream with his flashlight. He discovers tiny eggs hidden safely within a bromide plant. A unique dark frog is found resting motionless on the vibrant moss. Another strange amphibian stays perfectly camouflaged among the decaying brown leaves. A bright green frog perches still to avoid any passing threats. Clinging to tree bark, a frog with huge golden eyes watches carefully. A much larger, mottled frog waits patiently in the night shadows. The biologist continues his tireless search through the dense undergrowth by day. He inspects the thick forest floor very closely for hidden life forms. His search reveals an incredibly tiny orange saddleback toad crawling slowly. The minuscule creature bravely navigates its massive, leaf-littered world with difficulty. It pauses occasionally, blending perfectly into the decaying forest floor foliage. This tiny orange survivor represents the incredible evolutionary diversity hidden here. Another vibrant pink and yellow toad crawls awkwardly across a wet leaf. Its shockingly bright colors serve as a stern warning to hungry predators. This highly toxic little toad continues its slow, completely fearless journey. Up close, its highly textured skin looks incredibly alien and strange. The fearless toad rests confidently among the damp leaves on the ground. Placed on a coin, the toad reveals its truly unimaginably small size. It fits perfectly atop the small silver Brazilian 5-cent piece. With a quick hop, it leaves the coin and returns to the leaf. Yet another small orange toad sits cautiously on a dark, wet leaf. Two rival males suddenly meet, aggressively claiming their tiny forest territory. Elsewhere, a small brown frog sits quietly, desperately trying to stay hidden. It remains perfectly still as the dangerous whirl buzzes all around it. Suddenly, a parasitic fly spots the vulnerable frog and moves in quickly. The persistent fly aggressively attacks, trying to lay its eggs on the amphibian. Despite its frantic twitching, the frog becomes a living host for parasites. The deadly, flesh-eating larvae will soon cause the frog immense discomfort. This unfortunate host can only sit silently as the larvae begin growing. Predators lurk everywhere, like a small snake slithering silently through the undergrowth. A highly venomous Jararaca snake rests coiled tightly on the dark forest floor. Another snake waits in perfect ambush, hidden completely among the green branches. Stepping back, we see the vast, mist-covered expanse of this unforgiving wilderness. Countless species continue their endless fight for survival beneath the thick fog. A beautiful Brazilian tanager with bright red plumage perches on a thin branch. Then, a tiny, colorful mannequin bird hops quickly through the dense foliage. High up, a white bellbird prepares to unleash its incredibly loud call. Its powerful voice pierces through the thick fog, echoing across the canopy. Far below, a tranquil stream flows quietly through the darkening jungle. A rare Atlantic royal flycatcher sits patiently on a curved green stem. This beautiful bird is restricted to a very tiny, rapidly shrinking habitat. It remains extremely vigilant, always watching for passing insects to hunt. The flycatcher stays perfectly still, totally adapted to its quiet, isolated home. It continues its peaceful vigil as the forest fades into shadow. The tiny hunter remains vigilant in the fading light. Having caught a meal, it bangs the insect against a branch. Suddenly, it displays a spectacular multicolored crest. This beautiful threat display lasts only for a split second, but it flashes its bright crown once more as a warning. Then it settles back down into perfect stillness. Below this canopy, a tranquil river winds through the dense jungle. Other colorful hunters, like the trogon, wait nearby. It scans the foliage patiently for any passing prey. Across the woods, a red-bellied trogon begins to sing. His melancholic, repeating note marks his territory clearly. As night falls, the elusive birds emerge from their hiding spots. By day, busy pikelets use completely different hunting methods. A vibrant yellow-fronted woodpecker pauses in the gentle rain. Meanwhile, a blonde-crested woodpecker inspects a sturdy trunk. Its powerful beak easily extracts hidden grubs from the wood. But true vibrancy belongs to the agile green-headed tanagers. They thrive high up in these misty, towering mountains. The rare brassy-breasted tanager shines against the green leaves. It hops constantly, searching the highland canopy for food. Lower down, its green-headed cousin dominates the forest edges. The striking red-necked tanager also joins the foraging flocks. These tiny birds travel together in a colorful explosion. They carefully scour the leaves for any hidden insects. Even the smallest berries are quickly devoured by the group. One tanager finds an insect inside a bright red flower. It expertly plucks the meal from the spiral ginger plant. Not all birds here forage so innocently, however. The shiny cowbird watches the forest with a sneaky plan. Instead of building a home, it steals others' nests. It lays its eggs for unsuspecting parents to raise. The resulting giant chick easily dwarfs its tiny foster mother. The exhausted sparrow works tirelessly to feed the demanding imposter. It begs constantly, completely taking over the adopted family. High above this drama, a raptor watches the canopy. Smaller yellow birds hide safely within the tall marsh grass. A dark shape suddenly takes off into the clear sky. The forest is filled with species keeping the ecosystem balanced. From vibrant honey creepers to tiny emerald foragers, every creature plays a crucial part in spreading seeds. The bold magpie tanager actively participates in this cycle. They gather in pairs to hunt and feed together. Countless unique species depend on the jungle's rich bounty. Some prefer seeds, while others hunt for small insects. Each bird fills a specific niche within the dense foliage. A large, turkey-like bird suddenly spots a fruiting tree. The magnificent Jucara palms are vital to their survival. A red-breasted toucan arrives to gorge on the black fruits. It easily plucks the berries with its massive, colorful beak. Even in the heavy rain, the feast continues uninterrupted. The toucan swallows the large palm fruits completely whole. Later, it will regurgitate the seeds far across the forest. This simple act ensures the palms can grow and multiply. The critically endangered piping guan also relies on these trees. It lives only in untouched areas of the Atlantic forest. The heavy bird climbs clumsily to reach the hanging fruit. It spends hours slowly feeding on the abundant palm berries, but its docile nature makes it an easy target. Habitat destruction is quickly driving this giant toward extinction. It bravely endures the downpour to finish its essential meal. Without these dispersers, the forest's future is severely threatened. They are one of the few creatures large enough to help. Loud parakeets also descend upon the fruiting palm crowns. They excitedly devour whatever sweet treats they can find. Sometimes they switch to eating fresh guavas from nearby branches. Smaller birds investigate the palms' hanging yellow flowers. Further up, channel-bill toucans gather in the bare branches. They overlook the misty valleys, searching for their next meal. These large predators often raid other birds' nests for eggs. They rule the highest points of the jungle canopy. This upper realm is also home to mammalian leaf eaters. A brown howler monkey slowly makes its way through the leaves. The family group spends plenty of time resting and grooming. They navigate the treetops using their tails as extra limbs. This allows them to easily reach the tendernest new leaves. Their slow diet requires a very relaxed, inactive lifestyle. They feed quietly as the afternoon shadows grow longer. Life here moves at a steady, uninterrupted pace, but invasive species bring chaos to this peaceful balance. The white-tufted deer marmoset has rapidly taken over these woods. These former pets have become a serious threat to natives. They move quickly and aggressively through the invaded territory. The native buffy-tufted deer marmoset is being pushed completely out. They are losing their homes to both deforestation and invaders. Two members of the endangered troop rest on a vine. The brave leader steps forward to scan for any danger. It must protect its shrinking family from constant threats. Suddenly it spots trouble and emits a loud warning call. The sharp alarm echoes to alert the feeding group. Beyond the animals, the forest itself is a living wonder. It stretches across mountains, overlooking the distant human world. Its survival depends entirely on the creatures that pollinate it. In this dense tropical forest, vibrant flowers bloom widely apart. Their isolation demands a very special kind of pollen messenger. Many blossoms have evolved specifically to attract small avian visitors. This crucial task falls to the incredibly diverse hummingbird family. These tiny birds constantly patrol the thick green canopy above. Relying on sharp vision, they quickly spot distant food sources. Bright colors guide them since they lack a strong smell. Each species possesses a beak perfectly shaped for deep feeding. Their daily survival is completely tied to these specific plants. Even in bad weather, their relentless search for nectar continues. The rain does not stop them from visiting multiple flowers. They must constantly refuel their rapidly burning internal energy reserves. This delicate relationship is closely monitored by scientists studying here. A researcher examines a specialized blossom high on a peak. He explains how the flower's shape dictates its exact pollinator. Its deep tube holds sweet liquid only certain beaks reach. This clever design guarantees the visiting bird will carry pollen. In exchange for the sweet reward, plant fertilization is ensured. It is a perfect mutual trade hidden in plain sight. Reaching that deep food requires absolute mastery of the air. They can hover perfectly motionless by beating their wings furiously. This rapid movement burns a massive amount of internal calories, so they dart quickly from one rich bloom to another. Larger blossoms offer a highly prized and substantial energy source. Every single sip provides the vital fuel needed to fly. Some trees produce massive clusters of bright red floral tubes. These coral trees become a bustling seasonal feeding hub quickly. Other opportunistic bird species also arrive to claim their share. A few clever ones even pierce the base for nectar. Because this food is so vital, hummingbirds become incredibly aggressive. They fiercely defend the richest feeding territories from any rivals. A resident bird will constantly watch for all approaching intruders. If a competitor gets too close, it prepares for battle. It puffs up its colorful throat feathers to look larger. This bright visual threat is meant to intimidate the enemy. When simple warnings fail, violent aerial dogfights will immediately erupt. They chase each other relentlessly through the dense forest branches. Only the strongest and fastest can secure this valuable territory. The ultimate victor earns the exclusive right to nearby flowers. He proudly surveys his domain from a high resting branch. The constant vigilance takes a toll on his tiny body. Sometimes he must rest completely to conserve his precious energy. Even while resting, his sharp eyes track every moving shadow. But not every hummingbird fights over stationary flower patches daily. Some nomadic species travel long distances to find scattered blooms. Their peaceful routine eventually brings them back to a nest. Hidden away safely, a new generation is waiting to emerge. A tiny woven nest holds tightly packed and growing chicks. They must stretch frequently and practice flapping their small wings. Soon, their hard-working mother returns from a long foraging trip. She expertly feeds them the rich, regurgitated sweet flower nectar. This high-energy diet prepares them perfectly for their first flight. They will soon join the endless search across the canopy. Beyond the dense forest edge, a completely different world exists. The landscape transforms into misty and open highland grass fields. Here, a unique ecosystem thrives within the constant rolling fog. Strong coastal winds constantly sweep across these barren green hills. The low temperatures create an environment completely unlike the jungle. The soil is extremely poor, forcing plants to adapt drastically. Only the toughest species can survive this harsh, damp climate. Despite this hardship, delicate orchids manage to bloom beautifully here. Stunted shrubs push bravely through the tough and fibrous grasses. To survive the poor dirt, some native plants turn carnivorous. The red sundew patiently waits with its sparkling, sticky traps. Its vibrant tentacles look exactly like sweet drops of dew. A wandering fly lands and immediately becomes fatally stuck there. The insect struggles, but the biological glue holds it tight. Every frantic movement only causes more tentacles to wrap around. Slowly, the plant dissolves its trapped prey for vital nutrients. Yet a new foreign danger now threatens this fragile balance. Invasive pine trees have started to conquer the native highlands. Spreading rapidly, they slowly choke out the unique local flora. If left unchecked, this rare habitat could disappear entirely forever. As dusk falls, the coastal mountains beautifully reflect the sunset. We are deeply reminded of the irreplaceable beauty that remains. It is our shared duty to protect these natural treasures. The future of this living wonder depends entirely on us. We must act